And then in the evenings, waxing and sharpening skis and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that.
it is keeping me very busy.
But
So
it's a good exercise for your body, isn't it?
oh yeah, it's great exercise. It's just lots of
Too
fresh
much.
air.
Yeah, lots of fresh air. So that's good.
Yeah. So anyway,
Then
yes.
maybe,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, maybe Thomas will join today. Thomas is new intern from Safecast, and he's going to
Okay,
build
good.
a Zen, and he said he was not so comfortable on building. So maybe he needs some support from you or me or other people. I'm not sure if he's
No
going to
problem.
join or not. Hi,
Yeah, no
Steve.
problem. Hey, Steve. Good morning.
This is trying to figure out the sound, I think.
Yeah, I received a notice from Japan Post. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, they're on the way. So it should get them
Yeah,
maybe 2 weeks or something. That should be fine. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
far, every package we send out has arrived.
That's
Never a
good.
problem. That's great.
Yeah.
In one time in Germany, that was a little bit difficult, but
Oh, okay.
the person had given his company telephone number and not his private telephone number, and the
Oh, I
German
see.
post is very strict. So they said, "Oh, this is not the same person." Then he has to
Oh,
prove
I
that
see.
it was the same person and things like that. That turned out to be okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Good
hear
morning,
you.
Steve. Yes.
Yeah. Good morning.
So, yeah. Yeah. Well, for Thomas, could you show him the manual that I started and
I gave
have,
him links to all the manuals, and
yeah,
he said he was studying them, and he said,
yeah,
but still he was uncomfortable. I don't know. And I
yeah,
told him
yeah,
when he starts, please let me know. Then I will be available. And
yeah. Well, okay, but start on the latest one that I've been working on. So, um, I'll
but,
put the
but
link here.
what he wants to do is he wants to video record everything. So what
Oh,
he's
fine.
doing.
Fine.
Yeah, I
That's
think
great.
so.
Yeah.
And but you have some guidance for him because that would be easier because you have built
Yeah.
a few and
Yeah.
you made a manual. So
That's right. So, yeah, absolutely. Just proceed very carefully. Unfortunately, I can't. So I'm just going to give you the link right now. I'm just going to put the link back in here uh, in the uh, um, in the Slack.
okay,
So
that's good. And you said carefully, but only be careful with the tube. That's the most critical part.
oh
The other
yeah,
part is easy
yes,
to replace, and that's simple.
yeah,
I told him kind of the opposite. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's fine,
true,
except for the tube.
yeah, and don't
Be-
and don't burn your fingers.
yeah, don't burn your fingers. That's true.
Yeah,
But he has one of the small. I think in the office they have the small hackos. The hacko, very
yeah, yeah.
small.
Soldering irons.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
quite okay.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
The new ones are one. Sorry, the new ones I have for the Chinese versions are amazing. I'm so shocked with them. You power them up USB-C, and 1 second, 400 degree, bam,
Off USB-C. Wow.
USB-C. You
Yes.
should see
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
PD, and
Yeah.
I can show you. They're wonderful. So, can, oh,
Yeah.
cannot
Okay.
see them
You
well.
have to hold it back a bit. Yeah. Okay. Look at that.
It's
And
amazing temperature
it's
control,
temperature controlled.
and look at
Oh
this
yeah.
tip.
Oh, that's
Amazing
really
small.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful for
That's
the SMD components. And it's only about $20 or something like that.
Oh well.
Shocked how good it is.
So could you use two of them as tweezers for SMT?
Yes.
Ah.
And if you power them up, I mean they're programmable. They have here
Oh.
they have an
Oh, a little. That's
power.
amazing.
No, really. I mean, this is amazingly nice done. Hold on a second.
Sorry, Steve, we're nerding out on soldering irons.
Yeah.
Sometimes happens. Not tubes, but soldering irons.
Hmm.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I have an.
No, that is quite an impressive soldering iron.
I mean, this is amazing. This is the best find from the year for me. It's only 65 watt. You
That's
plug
all you
it in
need.
in the PD,
Yeah.
and let me get if I have power here. Hold on a second. Hmm.
Oh, there's hundreds of them out here. I, I'm just on AliExpress. It's crazy.
Oh yes, the crazy. But this is one of my favorites. I mean, I bought a few different ones, and really, this is the winner.
You have the brand name? What's it say?
It says E-Design.
E-Design. All
It's
right.
a TS21. TS21 is the
TS21.
tip. That's the tip type.
Okay,
And
I'll have a look.
the software is, I think it's not open source, but the user thing is good. Oh, let me see if it fires up from my other USB. Oh, it goes directly. Oh, you can program them. It goes to DFU mode directly if powered up from another USB.
Hmm.
Interesting. Hold on. That's mine. No, you can't see that. The cable is too short. I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
But
it.
surely recommendable.
Okay.
I used to have Wellers and Hakkos, but this one is this beats everything as far as I can
Oh
see.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I have when I retired, I went out and got, like a complete soldering station with hot air and vacuum
Mm,
and
that's even
soldering
better.
iron. Just yeah. So now I'm, if I have anything to do, I can, I can do it all.
Mhm.
So
And also for very small SMDs, like
well,
0402 or
it's got the smaller nozzles for the hot air, and you can dial up, dial the fan up or down,
okay. So
right? So
you
you
have
don't blow
both
them
of
off
them.
the board.
No. But that's what this is worry about if you have very small items and
Yeah.
they blow away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have a preheat board? Or
No, I don't. No.
same for me. I don't have them yet, but
Yeah. That's probably another AliExpress.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
so yeah,
no,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead. You first.
Basically, I had nothing to report today just because I've
Okay.
been so busy with the kids skiing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I made
So
a lot of progress on the map for
yeah, I
instance.
saw that.
And you can also directly upload from it. It's still very primitive, it's still
Mhm.
things, and it's experimental. You can just try things
Yeah.
out, and
Hmm.
there's an upload, and you can upload your own file. It should
Okay.
take bGeigieiZen files. It should take nano
Mhm.
files. It should also
Okay, good.
take spectrum files.
Yeah. From
.m42.
radio code?
Yeah, radio code. It picks it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
tested that. That works nice.
Yeah. Can you just where's the link again? Or is it still under safecast.org?
Yeah, it's a simple map,
Simple map.
.safecast.org. It can be a little bit slow because it's
Yeah.
not indexing yet. So
Oh, okay.
it's about 135 million markers that are going to be pulled up.
Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. I put in Toronto and I got I didn't specify which Toronto, and I got somewhere in Wichita, Kansas. Okay. So there's a Toronto, Kansas.
I didn't know that.
That's too funny. But actually there's some drives through there.
Oh no, it's all drives. It's only drives.
It's
Oh no
only
no
drives.
no 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 no. I see what you mean. On the in the Toronto, yeah, the
Yeah.
other Toronto. Yeah yeah
Yeah. There's actually drives through there, so I'm impressed.
yeah. I imported 42,000 drives in there in the
Oh
map.
wow.
It went quite fast. I mean, batching them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Considering it's
okay.
running on just a single server. So
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm also seeing yeah.
mhm.
Oh yeah, so I'm seeing it looks really nice. And you also have fixed
Yeah
points in there?
yeah.
Yeah.
The fixed sensors are supposed to like a circle,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
with the Safecast square logo. That was a suggestion
Right.
for us. We don't make it a heart. I think that was a good suggestion.
Yeah.
And if you click on the real time, you will see
Yeah.
the graphs showing up too.
Yep. So how does it tell the difference between okay, if you're uploading in real time, but you're mobile, how does it tell the difference between a fixed real time and a traveling real time?
We don't have travel in real time at the moment yet. It just
Oh,
picks up
okay.
the latest data from TT-Surf and that shows it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I have to still think about how to do that.
Okay,
But
okay, okay.
basically, it's all the work for Matthew. I'm just modified it a little bit.
Oh, I see. Okay. So,
I changed some concepts
hmm
because he had different ways of dealing with the data and picking it up.
hmm
So
That's
basically, he
impressive.
had all different markers for different zoom levels, but I made them dynamically. So you have 1/5 of the markers you need and 1/5 of the disk space. And so
Okay.
it's now 150 gigabyte instead of 500.
Okay.
That's the
That's
difference.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I don't see the one in Whitby popping up. So
Yeah, it can take a while sometimes. But
okay.
that's why you have to
All right.
index it and other things. And
So
I
wow.
wanted, if possible,
Yeah.
Steve, you had some questions about how to do that with this spectrum importing or showing the data. What do you have ideas about it?
I don't remember. What did I say?
You said that you were wondering how we're going to do that last time. I think last meeting. Because you were wondering how we're going to do that in time.
Oh yeah, I mean, as you have a moving detector, what's the algorithm to upload data? Once a second, once a minute, once an hour. I mean, you have to package the data on some cycle and keep uploading it.
Mhm. But
And
for
yeah,
what would
that,
you
that
think is would be the best? I mean, what would be a good solution?
well, it really depends on your data rate capability and how much data you want to generate. If you're loading it every second and you run this thing for an hour, you're going to generate large volumes of data. So it's really data quantity driven.
Mm, 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 mm.
Steve, is there an opportunity to try to attempt to identify the radionuclides and basically identify the peaks and knock out some of the noise?
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
possible to do, but I'm not sure.
well, I mean,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
you can cut off the lower end of the spectrum where you get a lot of Compton, and yeah, I mean, cutting off the upper end isn't really a good idea because you need the
Yeah.
thallium peak, you know,
Yes.
as a calibration point. So that there's not a whole lot you can do to, limit the size of the energy range. Um, I
Can
mean,
you
it's kind of
can you?
standard to cut the bottom off because it's just noise. Uh, but but you don't want to go too low because then if you want to keep the americium peak in there, that's at 60 keV. So that's pretty much the bottom of the spectrum. So there's not a whole lot to gain from that. Um,
Do you know what if there are filters available? I mean, let's say the common elements, what filter to use and where to get this information? Because sorry, I'm completely new to this, so I need as much information as possible.
well, I'm sure some of the vendor software that's out there that does nuclide ID. Unfortunately, I know how DOE does it, and you know that's how they do it. With a program called GADRAS, but that GADRAS is not a public domain uh, routine. But there
Okay.
must be other things like that. So you can do spectral analysis. You can do analysis of each one or 5 seconds worth of something and identify peaks. But
Mm.
that's going to tell you what peaks are there. It's not going to really, cut down the data size because you have to look at the whole spectrum to do a peak search.
Mm. Or if the data comes in and identify the peaks when it comes in, then cut the data,
Well,
make a subset.
I mean, you could maybe just do a judgment, is this background or not background? And then
Mhm.
if it's not background, store it and flag it. But you don't want to throw background away either because you need something to if you get something that's not background, you need to compare it to background, some seconds or minutes before or after that.
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the main thrusts behind the whole Safecast is to map the background
mhm.
so that you know what's going on.
Yeah, so it doesn't do any good to throw background away,
Mhm.
unless
So,
you don't want to save the background. But like I said, this is a it's a data storage problem. You're going to generate it. It's like it's not like the GM tubes that don't generate a lot of data.
no, no,
Because what do you
that's
got? A 1,000 channel spectra? What's your spectral
mhm.
size? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you
the
got
1024. Yeah.
you got 1,000 channel spectra and all the metadata every second or every 5 seconds or whatever you pick. But it's a lot of
Mm, mm,
data.
mm, mm. That's true. Maybe Colin has some idea about that. We should talk
Yeah.
about and see. Okay.
And also
Well,
look at various schemes to compress the data because you're not expecting it to change very much from one sampling window
mm,
to the
mm,
next,
mm, mm,
right?
mm.
So now just
Store
basically
the different. Yeah.
storing the deltas for let's say a few minutes and reset, like with an absolute and then deltas, absolute deltas, and so on.
So do you want to store this data in perpetuity or you want to just store it for a short period of time and then discard it later?
Oh, I don't know yet what we should do. I prefer to keep all the data, but
Okay.
Yeah.
you can always go back or maybe store data locally and on the device itself.
Hmm.
And then if you need it, you can go back to the device and pick it up later, or they can send it again. Let's think about that. That's
Yeah, I
another
mean,
idea.
what's the objective for what there could be different endpoints for wanting spectral data. I
True.
mean, what depends on the endpoint. If you're
Hmm.
doing it just to map background, and once you start taking data, you're going to find elevations for lots of reasons. So it's always good to, if you have an area map, to know we normally get an elevation because there's a granite, building somewhere, or there's a hospital. Um, uh, but you're gonna store them, or you're gonna map it every time. Are you looking for a particular nuclide for some reason that you suspect you're looking for something you know of, or you're just out there generally mapping? Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. You just have to think about.
I mean, if something has happened and you know what the release was, you don't necessarily need spectral data because you know what it is.
Mm.
You just need to know the magnitude of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
That's good to know. Thank you for your input, Steve. That's very useful for me.
Be careful what you wish for with this, because you might get it.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good approach. And also, I've been working on the 3D model for the sensor itself, and I'm
Hmm.
checking materials what we can use, and I check the availability, and I think it's all doable.
Hmm.
There's also another person in Safeguards called CS Marco. Marco used to be, I think, working for the subs for the Department of Defense in America and for scintillators. She is specialist in scintillator, according to what I've heard about her. She was an intern for Safecast. She worked with ASPI together. So I
Mhm.
asked her some advice and look at the Synth channel and see what she thinks what we're doing. So let's see. That's also very useful if we get feedback from her. Her name is Marco, I think. Marco, yeah, that's something like that. So for me, I don't have anything anymore. Yella said
Same
he
here.
couldn't make it,
Yeah.
so he's busy. So and looks like Michael also busy that he didn't show up.
Okay.
Yeah, and Louis, you have plans if you're recovered for working on the manual, finishing up
No,
the.
I'm just gonna wait for the safe pulse. When it comes
Oh,
in, I'll
that's
just
good.
finish it. Right, right.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I'm not going to do videos. Your intern Thomas is very ambitious, but I'm okay with taking pictures. Take nice clear pictures and then
That's.
reference them. That's me. I'm
Mhm.
not a video guy.
No, but I'm not sure if it's a video guy, but I think his professor asked him to. So I think he's kind of,
Oh, I
oh,
see.
you
Okay,
have to.
I
Um,
see. It was all right. So,
it's
well,
more
good.
complicated story because he was supposed to bring two bGeigieiZen kids from the professor to Japan, and they at the customs they said it's better not to take them, something like that. There was something
Yeah.
happening, and
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah. I've actually had, when I was still teaching, I had a student who ordered his parts kit while he was still in, I don't know what country it was, but it was like a former USSR country, and he had all this electronics kit and he was ready, and they just confiscated it before he got on the plane,
really.
right? Just like, oh yeah, it's like so soldering iron and parts and kits and oh, it just so you have to buy it twice. Not good. So yeah, so it's
No.
safe. Not you know, people in uniform around the airports get nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar situation with my solder stuff in my suitcase when I entered the American. But that's a very long story, and
Yeah, okay.
still have problems if I want to go back.
Yeah,
So
and the rules changed after the war in Ukraine started too, with all the sanctions. So it's
that's
Yes.
true.
we had a we exercise in Romania and we shipped some equipment and it was very difficult. I mean, you have like tools, you have to declare them, and where in the past that would have just gone through customs, you know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So items you
Okay.
know really didn't have to be declared now do.
Mhm. But you were in Romania recently, then, or
A
was
year
a
ago,
while ago?
January. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Where did you go?
Uh, we were in Bucharest.
Hmm.
I was with actually we had a program supporting USAID that Trump flushed down the toilet. Uh, we
Oh,
Yeah.
we uh, we
his
did an
golden toilet.
exercise. Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
golden one.
Yeah.
And we were doing an exercise with uh, a simulated reactor accident and the humanitarian uh, aspect of that. You know,
Oh,
people
interesting.
evacuating, migration and having to, support the humanitarian side of the evacuation. So, and USAID was, really leaning into, dealing with that sort of technical side of the support. That's where the program came at us out of
Mm.
Fukushima. And so we did an exercise with the Romanian government. Uh,
Was it
I have a
was
very
that at yeah. Was that at the no, how do you pronounce it? Cernavoda nuclear plant, the CANDU plant?
no, we faked a plant that didn't exist.
Okay.
Uh, but we didn't want to use one of their power plants, and we had to
Mm.
um, put it in a place that would provoke a migration.
Right. Okay.
So
So
we faked it at a one location on the southern border somewhere. I forget
yeah,
exactly, fit the town.
that would
Mm.
be. Is that was there a report coming out of that? Because I would be interested in that because we've got the Pickering plant, which is right next to Toronto. It's a very populated area.
I'm sure the Romanians wrote something up, but
Okay.
uh, and we had an after action report for the internal side of USAID, but there's
Okay.
no public report that I know of.
Oh, okay. Be
Maybe if you are interested, you should maybe talk to Mihai, Mihai,
that's right.
because he's from that area.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
maybe
Right.
he knows about and he's also very much in education. So maybe he knows about the project from the Romanian side, and maybe
Okay.
he
I'll ask.
can give you the
Pro
information.
Yeah, I would say possibly not. It wasn't. It was it wasn't publicized. Uh,
Okay.
Hmm.
it was an intergovernment, it was U.S. government, Romanian government
Hmm.
exercise.
Okay.
So it didn't involve uh, anyone outside the agencies.
Maybe Mihai has
Oh,
in
I'll ask.
confirmation contact. You can ask. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
he had contact with the agencies, so I wouldn't be surprised because he's a lot of
Yeah,
his idea
Hmm.
about education is very much in line with
Yeah.
this kind of things like humanity, disaster recovery.
I
Cool.
probably I probably have the after action report, that the U.S. side wrote somewhere. Since USAID is dead now,
Yeah.
it probably
They
doesn't
can't
matter what.
complain. Yeah.
No, there's nobody to complain.
Yeah. If you could, yeah, if you could fish that out of in the box of papers,
Uh,
that would be great.
yeah,
Mm.
I'll look for it because
Yeah.
I ran the let me tell you about the program.
Sure.
Um, uh, During Fukushima, the U.S. government sent a DOE rad expert immediately to the embassy as is procedure. That
Hmm.
infrastructure is in place. And
Hmm.
to a large extent, this kind of exercise had never really been uh, and USAID had permanent staff in the embassy
Hmm.
in Japan because they also, would use that as a regional hub to, respond elsewhere in the region. So it's not just they were there for Japan.
All
So
right.
since Japan accepted the U.S. offer for humanitarian assistance, it was the first time USAID had done a response like that in a area that was complicated by radiation.
Right,
So to
right,
make a
right.
long story short, Dan Blumenthal and I stood up a program, a couple of years later after the NSC reviews of it, we stood up a program to staff people like me on a response from USAID. They send
Mhm.
what they called a DART, Disaster Assistance Response Team. I don't know if you're
Right,
familiar
right.
with that. Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we were prepared to staff two people on a DART for basically two reasons. One, for protection of the USAID staff, and
Hmm.
two, to assist the response be carried out and not delayed because there's a little sprinkle of radiation somewhere.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
as you know, you'd say radiation, all of a sudden everybody freezes, but there's people's lives at stake for USAID and the other NGOs, to do their mission on schedule and not be delayed because they froze from radiation. So
Right,
we
right.
were there to be there to explain the situation, design any protection for them, and make sure they carried out their mission as if there was no radiation. So,
Right.
uh, and then Elon Musk put it in the wood chipper.
Yeah.
No, we had $500,000 worth of equipment on a pallet, to ship with us. You know, instruments, dosimetry, remote monitors. So we spent years building the program, and um, we had done two international exercises. That was the second one. The first one was in New Zealand back in 2018. We
Hmm.
pigtailed onto a military exercise. So and we had plans of doing some other exercises, in the Ukraine area with one of the Baltic states,
Hmm.
because everybody's worried about this was going to happen and we're going to need to deploy this. So anyway, hold on.
Okay.
Oh,
But
And
but
equi-
that that's
equi-
this this little USAID was a much larger organization,
yeah, yeah.
but the group we were associated, the Bureau for Humanitarian Assistance, used to be called the Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance, AFTA. And in 25 years ago, it was literally 30 people in the basement of the State Department. And it wasn't this big, massive organization USA grew into. So that little piece did go back to the State Department, and it's still alive. And they could come back to the CBRN support that they do need a
Hmm.
component to. So it's still in transition, and it's in kind of a black hole.
Well,
Mhm. You still have contact with the people, or
No, no.
no? Okay.
I mean, I kind of stay in contact with one fellow because, well, actually, I got hired last January, and Musk fired me in February. So basically, what I did was help the management advise the senior management, many of which who were idiots that didn't know what they were doing that Trump put in there, um, basically on the build down. So the build down, we had three agreements for the equipment and personnel and the training and that sort of thing. But anyway, to make a long story short, two out of the three agreements got canceled at my recommendation, and I told them to consolidate it all into the third one. Well, the third
Mhm.
agreement never got canceled. So somebody was doing the right thing based on the recommendation for the bill down to keep a little of this alive. And the contract for the people still isn't canceled. I still have a contract with the DOE organization in Nevada. So that contract isn't canceled. So I just think it's something that this resource hasn't bubbled up yet for somebody to decide what to do about it. So it's 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 barely alive.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So I'm still kind of waiting to see what happens.
But the good thing is it's still alive, so that's good.
Well,
Something is
yeah, but I
alive.
mean, well, the higher level still alive. I mean, they did keep a piece of this organization together that, like I said, looks like what it was 25 years ago. So there is still some plan for the U.S. government to, you know, do humanitarian assistance because disasters are going to happen. I mean, it's
Yeah.
inevitable, and one of these days it's going to be a disaster in a country that Trump likes, and then
Mm.
he's going to turn to the State Department and either they're ready to do it or not. Or if he turns, and one of the reasons that USAID exists is because the military doesn't want to do this. They're
Mm.
they're not set up and they're not designed to do this. And USAID took the burden off the military. So the Department of Defense liked USAID very much.
I
There
can
was a very
imagine.
strong
Mm.
partnership between the two organizations, and there were very strong ties and official liaisons. So, if Trump turns to the military and says, "Go help this country," they don't really. They
Can
have to
do.
divert resources. They're not trained. They're not. They don't really do this. The only
Mm.
time we would use the military is when they had a resource that nobody else does.
Mm.
An example was there was huge floods in Pakistan some years ago, and it knocked out a lot of the bridges. And the military took bridging equipment that was left over from World War II, and went over there with it and deployed it. So like nobody else could do that. So
So,
that's the kind of things that, when the military got called in, uh, and it was the case in Japan because, roadways and bridges were knocked
yeah.
out from the
Mhm.
from the earthquake. And they flew in and they got an airport running up in Sendai, things like that. So
Mm.
um, if Trump turns to the military and says, go, they're going to look at them and say, we don't do this,
That
you
is
know.
okay. Thank you for
Anyway,
the
that
explanation. That's very
that
useful
so,
to know.
Yeah.
so that's my sad story.
No,
Oh,
I
man.
do not.
Uh,
Thank you for sharing it. I mean, this is wonderful to hear the background from what's going on. Okay, we have 2 minutes left.
oh, yeah.
We- So we just
Okay.
say
Well,
bye-bye this time.
well, thank you, Steve. That was
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was eye-opening.
very insightful. Yes, more than eye-opening, brain opening.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right. Have a
Okay.
good
Okay,
week.
Okay.
have a good
See you
week.
next
Thank
But
time.
you.
All right.
yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining. Bye-bye.